Scars and Spikes Spectration podcast, sitting Tommy and Henry with you, Tyler shortly, Grace shortly, as we, if you're listening on the podcast, I have no idea what's going on. Henry is holding up what is that called, Henry, that you're holding
Gentlemen,
up?
it's Socrates. And Socrates is happy
Socrates.
because Atlanta United has won a game. It has
Finally.
broken the 290-day streak of not winning games. Can y'all believe it, guys?
195 days.
It has been forever since it has happened, guys. And there's plenty to be happy about. Yeah, Greg Gowder coming in shortly. I don't know if we want to let him in right now or want to wait till a little bit later on. Like I said, we know we have Tyler coming up to stop by just a little bit. But Tommy, what do you have? Do you have an observation to give us?
It was a great day to watch Atlanta United, and it's been a long time since we've been able to say that. Now, I don't want to say it was just because Stian Gregerson started. It probably was, but I mean, the DP, the three DPs working together, combining on goals was something that we have not seen since a long time. I mean, hardly ever. And it was good to see. I mean, all of them, even Latte Lath in the first 5 minutes was a little bit frustrating. He missed a few chances there, but he just kept going, and the offense kept going, and the transitions were fantastic, and you were able to score goals. And yeah, it got a little chippy at the end there, got a little scary. They laid back a little bit too late, but a win is a win, and it's at home. And by the way, the fire that now comes out for those goals, like, I think WWE might come and sue Atlanta United because I think that's Kane's fire. I mean, that fire is crazy, absolutely crazy. Now it used to just be the flaming, but now it's like they got the cross flames and all that.
I know it's insane.
It's something.
It's a good thing Joseph isn't here to jump onto the flamethrowers.
I hope we see more of it this year, guys. I really do. Not just for guys, 5 goals in the last 2 matches. Tyler, think about that.
I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about it a lot.
Yeah.
I went back and watched them all multiple times again today, and I was like,
nice.
The first one was good. The second one was like really good. And the third one was like chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss.
They just kept getting better, and they looked more and more Tata-esque. And I think that's what makes me happy, because at the end of the day, I can't stay long. Y'all know this. I'm going to sub out for Gray in a minute.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I think what's so cool about it is, and I'm not going to have the whole like Philly sucks. Yes, Philly sucks. I don't care.
They're not good.
Because what you saw was the idea that they've been trying to kind of perform over the past few matches. It all finally clicked. And there's a lot of reasons for that honestly we couldn't get into in one show anyway. But it's more so because the team figured it out than it is the other team sucked. And that's encouraging.
Like, Atlanta United have played teams that have sucked in the past, and they've not been good, but it's finally beat a team that sucks. I guess.
I mean, you got to beat the teams that you have in front of you, right? Like,
your schedule is your schedule.
Yeah.
A win's a win, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and not just the fact that they won, but the fact that they won playing very good soccer. And I feel like we say this anytime that Atlanta wins, but I think in this case, it's definitely true. It's the best that we've seen them play in a while. Just the ideas were clear. The interplay was beautiful. Like, you saw very clearly what this team was trying to do, and they executed it very, very well. There was also an element of luck, I think, that was missing in some of their previous games. It's like you have a few moments where it's like, okay, ball just doesn't go into the net. Some errant touch, one tiny detail goes wrong, and suddenly the whole sequence is moot. This time, everything clicked, and everything just was solid, back to front. There was no, oh, we fixed this thing this week, and then another hole appeared, and that's where they got us. No, the whole performance was very solid, and you got to be happy with the soccer that you saw, man.
First win, guys, since August. First MLS win since May 28th against Orlando City, which I
home.
can get over. At home, yes. Which I can get over.
Felt good.
Yeah.
Let's just
did.
give a shout out to Stian again because I can't say it enough.
so
Like, and look, I'm not saying this because I've been begging for him to start here, but like there was just some physicality to his game that has just been missing here. Like there was a point where a
Yeah.
guy like went and ran right into Stian, and it was like hitting a brick wall. He just went right down there,
Yep.
and it's just something I feel it's been missing on the back line there. And there were just a couple moments he was able to break things up. Where I maybe didn't have confidence that maybe some of our other players could do it. But the concussion when he got knocked down there was really scary because I'm like, oh no, he went down. No. And when he
Here
popped
we go
up,
again.
he looked like he was looking for a brisket grilled cheese. He had no idea where he was, but maybe he smelled some brisket, something. He did not really look like he knew where he was. I was like, oh, there's no way he's going to be able to get back in this game. And they checked him. He was good and was able to finish the game out, which is good because with Barakal not even being available, you really didn't have a lot to put back there. So it
Pretty
was
thin.
good that he was able to finish the game.
So run it back with Dion next week, right?
Sure, why not?
Right?
You don't need to change anything next week. I would change nothing.
Yep.
I mean,
agreed.
I would going into this match. I'll just put it out there. I thought my one concern was going to be that, and I need to preface this and say,
Yeah.
this is no shade at all. My one concern was going to be that Cooper Sanchez was starting a fourth game in a row because I felt like you would want a little more veteran presence there, and he's been good, but.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still 17 years old. That kid knocked it out of the park last night. I mean, you go back and watch the first goal, and you have the play where Muyumba dropped back as a third center back, plays it over to Mihai. Mihai plays it quick up to Cooper Sanchez, and then Sanchez takes a touch and sends a perfect ball to Elias Baez. I mean, it is a perfect ball. He flicks it on a Miggy, rest is history. And like that's heads up play. But overall, we said it on takeaways video. He played very mature last night, and so yeah, dude. You know, Tata has been all about consistency this early part of the season, and I think we kind of had a little bit of an issue with it, right? With continuing to play better call.
Yeah.
I get consistency, and now it's like, dude, you don't have a reason to change anything, not a single thing.
I'll give you another one, Tyler. The pass to Thomas Jakob. I thought there was no chance, and you know what, that he was going to catch up to it. And he just bombs one down the right hand side. Jakob somehow gets to it and turns into a half chance for Latte Lot. But that just kind of speaks to the vision again that Sanchez had. The goal that you talked about, the vision to put that pass in, that line breaking pass to Baez. And I wrote out on scratchthespec.com. You can check it out there. But yeah, his best game for Atlanta United, and long may it continue for Cooper Sanchez. Absolutely.
Personally, my favorite goal was the second one because of how it started. And it was this beautiful interplay between like Galarza and Miggy going up the left side. And then it ends with Miggy playing that cross. And the ball goes to Latte Lot. Latte Lot probably should finish this. Doesn't finish it. It goes past him. And then the ball goes to the back post. And no one makes that back post run, right? No one ever makes the back post run. If they did,
Not
Atlanta
since Tyler
might not have. Yeah, we've been missing that since Tyler Wolf was gone. Except someone did make the back post run this time. And y'all know who that was? It was this guy.
Choo-choo.
It was Tomas the Tank Engine. Guys, I got to talk about Tomas. I got to give him his flowers because he's awesome. And not just because he's a solid soccer player, but
because you made the meme.
Or because I made the meme, but because he's a dude. Like he loves this club, and you could see it just from how excited he is to be here. Just his smile, his expression, the way he plays, the way he celebrated the goals, like just hugging everyone and just looking like it's the happiest day of his life. Like he is where he wants to be. And that kind of mentality is what we've been missing for a while. I feel like we need more players that have that mentality, that want to really, really fight for the badge, man, and that really truly want to be here, not just because, because I'm getting paid. No, it's
Yeah.
because you genuinely love the club, you love the city, you love being here, you love fighting and competing, and that is Tomas Jakob. That run and goal, by the way, reminded me a lot of Franco Escobar.
100%. I said
And
the
so
same
that
thing.
is that is what I want to say. I really enjoy him, and I hope we get to see a lot more of him.
On
this
that
season.
note, I'll throw this out there too. You talk about these guys, and look, I mean, there's something about just the sheer happiness of scoring a goal and then a second and then a third, and you are pretty well on your way to winning your first game of the season. And for all the guys that were here last year, like that is a massive weight off their shoulder, and this year
Oh,
too,
yeah.
especially those guys from last year. But to your point, like Jakob is calling everybody over, Latte Las calling everybody over. They want to celebrate together. They're like in it, they're having this moment, and it's a team goal, and they feel good about it. They're supporting each other. These are the things that you want to see. And I'll throw this out there really quick before I hop off. You had these guys play, some of them 90 minutes last night, and then a handful of them just made the trek all the way out to Athens, Georgia to
Yeah.
watch their fellow twos play. And, I mean, for those that don't know, that's a solid hour and a half ride on a good day.
Minus traffic.
Yeah. So, and just showed up and popped up in the bleachers with everybody else and are supporting their fellow players. So like that camaraderie that we have talked about for so freaking long, that just kind of emphasizes it even more. So shout out to the whole team, honestly, because it's just been, it was really fun to watch, and it was even more fun to see just how happy they all were.
Have we said the words Miguel Almiron in the first about 13 minutes of the show, guys?
We have not.
If we haven't, I don't remember, because it just speaks to the overall contributions of the team. What a layoff on that. What is it, that second goal, guys, that Atlanta scored, that Jakob scored? What a layoff by Latte La. Just the awareness in that split second to maybe he's caught between two minds, right? And he's thinking about, hey, I have an easy tap in. But what a decision to let that ball go to Jakob, and Jakob has plenty of time and space to finish at the near post to make it 2-0. What a pass! And you mentioned Sanchez. What a pass by him! What a performance! Outside of all that, what a performance by the team. No, it wasn't perfect. Like it wasn't, but you had so many people involved in this match, in this win, that the fact that we even mentioned Miguel Almiron, 3 assists on the evening, just speaks volumes to Tyler, what you're just talking about, the camaraderie, the unity with this team that we didn't see last year. It's not perfect yet, like I said, it's not all the way there, but the more this becomes a habit, the more closer and closer they'll get, and the more, hopefully, the more wins we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, remember, sorry, Tyler, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead. I've talked plenty.
Well, I was just going to say, now, just remember, a week ago, I mean, Miguel Almiron was given the business after some goals to the team. I mean, he was on them for allowing some bad goals there. But winning and scoring goals changes the attitude of a lot of players there.
Yeah.
So what does that show? Well, you got to be able to take that momentum into practice this week, and then you need to take it into DC here and get another 3 points. Like that's, it's great for one game, but you're going to need to continually see it here, and you've got an opportunity to really start gaining some momentum, gaining some confidence with the other players, and hopefully creating this identity that we had, which, Latte Lath, a couple runs that he had surely reminded me of it one Joseph Martinez at a couple points there. I mean, if you got to be able to use everyone in the position that they're going to be able to excel in, and that pass to Latte Lath and the finish by Latte Lath definitely reminded me of a Joseph Martinez goal there. Fantastic. But now that you've seen it coming, how other teams try to defend it, and can they still get those goals happening? Because back then you couldn't stop Joseph Martinez
Right.
at all there, and that offense. But now you got some tape on you. Can you continue to do it next week? I hope so.
Means
think-
nothing if you can't stop stackless performances atop of each
Yeah.
other, guys. Means nothing.
I think it felt like
Well, I
with-
mean, it's something. We got our first
Yeah,
win.
but you know
We
what
got
I
a
mean.
first win.
yeah,
Let's
it's big. It
Yeah,
brought the expected rage meter on stats.scribesandspikes.com down from an 85 to a 69. So that's something. I know I was waiting for it. No, but I felt like with Latte Lath especially, I'll throw this out as an aside as well. He in the locker room last night, he kind of came out late. I was talking to Tristan Muyamba, lockers right next to each other. He was just happy. Like came up and kind of like shook my hand, gave me a little bit of a hug. He was just like super like excited and just kind of riding the high. He was like celebrating with people across the locker room. Like it was a good vibe. Great vibes. Haven't seen it in the bins in a long time. But it kind of felt like the way he played last night, it was almost as if he stopped feeling like he had to do everything himself. He was making runs that were admittedly a little different than the ones he has in the past. I think, you know, with strikers, it's so psychological. You get so stuck in your head sometimes that you just have to drive straight to goal and just try to make something happen. And we know he's a super fast guy, but it wasn't coming off for him. But last night, when you go back and look at the third goal, the one that involved all three DPs, I remember watching it when it was live and I was thinking like, oh, he's going to try to dribble straight between these two guys and outrun them. And he doesn't. He holds the ball up. I mean, just a split second.
Exactly.
And breaks out wide. And then it's funny, if you go back and watch on the coverage of it, the moment he kind of takes that step and puts his foot on the brake, then all of a sudden there's three Atlanta players that come out of nowhere.
Yep.
And that's the team goal that you've been waiting for. But it's also that decision making by Latte Lath, I think was huge. And so, you know, he's not going to get on the any kind of stat sheet for what he did in the second goal. But that was, like you said, that was crucial. Everything that he did last night was leaps and bounds way better than what we've seen over the past few months. And so, honestly, all the DPs, they performed really well. So, but I think Latte Lath, you know, he's received the criticism, and yeah, I mean, he's still got a long way to go, to be fair. I mean, that's a lot of money. But if this is what kickstarts it and you start seeing those kind of performances and that kind of interplay and then the team getting each other, I think you're looking at a guy that definitely could exceed the expectations. Now it's one game. I gotta bring myself back a little bit, but I'm also riding the high because it looked really good.
And hopefully the team rides the high too. I mean, you still got a couple more games at home before you have to go back on the road. They need to build as much steam as they can, man. I also just wanted to mention, by the way, that there is one Alexei Miranchuk with 3 goals in just over 200 minutes, which is insane to me because this guy, I mean, he's on the bench for the first couple of games. He comes on as a starter and he scored in his first 2 starts for the team. And he's 8th in the Golden Boot race, guys. He's 2 behind. He's 2 behind the lead, which is Brian White and Petar Musa. Guys,
who knew?
Is Alexei Miranchuk actually the Joseph replacement? No. But
Calm
yeah,
down,
I mean, he's playing well. The DPs are working well. Miguel Almiron breaking the record for all-time regular season assists, taking that from one Brooks Lennon, rip in pieces. So yeah, dude, it's just a game where we're all 3 DPs.
Game record.
What was that?
And he tied the single game record for assists. That was set by one Alan Franco.
What?
Yep.
That's a wild stat. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, dude, the 3 DPs are clicking. They're complementary, right? This is what Tata told us. This is what you like to see. And I think the third goal was kind of the culmination of all of that, where you see all 3 of them are involved. And in ways that you didn't expect. Because again, Latte Lath isn't the one finishing that move off. He's the one initiating it. And that's something that Tata has talked about a lot throughout, you know, training sessions and his media availabilities. He wants all 3 of them to have a hand in creating and also in finishing. And so that's what you saw. Alexei Miranchuk, who we expected to be more of the creator, who was kind of the 10, right, the playmaker, he was the one finishing the move. He was the one scoring. And it was Latte Lat, the DP number 9, who actually dropped back, waited for the run, and initiated the play, passing it to Miggy, who then finds Miranchuk in the box for the goal. So I just thought that was a great example of the potential that these 3 DPs can have together.
Tyler?
I'm gonna
you
leave. I
got?
have one more thing. I know I've been saying this like 3 times, but
Yes.
if you have not yet, go back with an eye on Elias Baez and watch the first and second goal. Yeah, the first and second goal. I know there's been some back and forth about Baez and the defensive side of his game. On the attack side, I think he's definitely showing a ton of promise.
Yep.
And it's just funny though, if you go back and watch the first 2 goals, he single touch on both of them that helps open up the play. So in the first one, it's Cooper Sanchez to Elias Baez, and he just kind of lays it off to Miggy. Miggy takes off running, makes the pass to Latte Lat as he gets tackled. And then it's the other one. Henry, you were talking about kind of the interplay between the Paraguayan pair, and they're kind of going back and forth. But at one point in that little exchange, it was Elias Baez that lays the ball off, I think, to Miggy, and that breaks open that attack as well. And it's just, you've got this left back who, I think there's still going to have to be a little bit of maybe balancing with the defensive work, but in the attack, he's getting it with everybody else. And that's really, really good to see, because that's, short of Pedro Amador in the final, 8 matches of 2024, that's not something this team has really had since, I would argue Garza, but maybe to a degree, a little bit in 2019 with
Bella, maybe.
Who?
Wiley, Bella.
Wiley, but I think they were definitely missing something in the attack. They were more defensive oriented. But anyway, that's my last thought. But just lots of good things. Be happy, ride the high.
Yeah.
As the X Rage meter says, hey, just don't analyze it too much. Just enjoy it. And we roll next week.
See you on MLS Monday, Tyler, with
Yes,
myself
indeed.
and Henry, right?
Yes, indeed. And y'all be safe with all the
Yes.
the weather coming in.
Tornadoes.
You got snow coming, I saw too.
No,
Snow in
tornadoes.
No up north, storms down south. But
Yeah.
yes, thanks
it's
for the well wishes.
Weather Mageddon on the way.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Peace out, Tyler.
Good talk. Go ahead, Tommy. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, like this. I mean, I was thinking about it after our first 3 matches and talking about this team was, were we overreacting? There was a comment on one of our things, like, do you guys think you overreact? And I don't think we were really, especially with what we saw in those first 3 games. I don't think, fans or us or whoever was talking about this team, I don't think we were overreacting to what we saw. It was bad. I mean, it
Yeah.
was real bad, especially defensively. And they cleaned a lot of that up there. And then the offense started taking off. And I know they ended up scoring 2 goals in the opener there, but I mean, at that point it was 3-1.
Yeah.
And, it was just, I mean, they were just clawing to get back in there. But I mean, this was a totally different team than what we saw in those first 3 weeks. Now, there's a lot of things here. Is Philadelphia as bad as they are right now? Did the midweek game help them? I mean, there's a, I mean, these are questions that you have to ask about this going forward. Because a few years ago, we talked about it when we thought this team was going to be really good. All of their wins came off of, like, their first 3 wins of the season came off playing teams that were off of a midweek champions
Yeah.
week there. So that's why I'm just taking this game and enjoying it and saying, show me again Saturday at 7:30.
Against DC United.
Don't threaten me with a good time, Bruno. He said so. If the weather's bad tomorrow, it'll be Tommy MLS Monday.
Right.
It could only go off the rails there.
Well, before we get Gray in here, ScarsandSpikes.com is your home for Atlanta United news analysis and opinion. Of course, recaps for the win, Tyler's post-match quick hits, what's it called? His instant reaction, I should say. That's what I was trying to say. Instant reaction from the win. I wrote something on there about Cooper Sanchez and what Almiron and the Tata said about him, what Cooper said himself after the match. That's up there. There's another column up there. But yeah, scarfsandspikes.com is where you can go for all of that. Patreon.com/scarfsandspikes is where you can go to support our coverage. Both tiers, $5 and $10 a month, get you access to our Discord, get you access to our Atlanta United training ground reports, get you access to our bi-weekly mailbag episodes, one that we're doing this week, in fact. So if you are a Patreon backer, you have an opportunity to leave us a comment for that. If you are not, please consider becoming a Patreon backer. It's $5. You spend that at the Benz every time you go to the stadium, either $5 or $10. So patreon.com/scarves and spikes help support our LA United coverage. If you're watching live on YouTube on Sunday night, thanks for watching. Please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like button. It really does help us out a lot. If you're watching after the fact, please, again, like and subscribe. Leave a comment and let us know what you think about the episode. Let us know what you think about what we're discussing. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please subscribe to our channels there. Leave a review. Let us know what you think of the show. Shall we get Gray in the mix here, guys? Because he has been waiting patiently. Gray has been waiting since the beginning to come on, and we can finally let him on. So, should we let him on, guys?
What if I said no?
Well, I'm going to do it anyway.
You asked.
I'm going to do it anyway. Just to
You
spite
asked.
Tommy.
I mean, you don't set that up and expect me to say no.
I could leave. It's fine.
We're in a little trouble hearing you, Gray. I don't know if it's your mic or
Okay.
something else. Man, it's
You're
perfect.
better there.
We got you now.
Much
We got
better.
you now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could leave if y'all want me to.
No, please stay.
I hear we
Please
got to
stay.
talk about some butts tonight.
Yeah. We
Moon Bucks.
had a fantastic night over in Athens, Georgia, and Liam Butts, who's back with the twos, had a couple of goals, and so love seeing a brace of butts out there. And we had a couple of others come through. Just really awesome night. Draft pick Dovlo also had a goal tonight, and just really fantastic start to the season by the twos. And overall, just have to say, guys, I am very excited to see the attitude shift by the first team and the second team heading into this weekend. It feels different. I don't know if y'all are getting that too, but it feels different than what we've been seeing for a while, and it's starting to feel a little bit like the joy that we used to see, in those early years.
So, Tommy had something. Sorry, go. I saw Tommy talking, but no, I'm going to take it actually. So, you were talking about the Discord. Patreon.com/scarves and spikes. Get access to our Discord, by the way. But you mentioned the Discord. Tata was talking about when I asked him about Cooper Sanchez. Not just Cooper, who had a terrific game, his best game so far for Atlanta United in his 4 starts, but he mentioned all the younger players. Jay Fortune was mentioned. He started for the twos. Luke Brennan, Will Riley. Just you go on down the line, and Gray, you are the Scarves and Spikes resident 2/academy expert, and I say this all the time. You probably know more about the twos and the academy than people in the building, and that's not enough on people that actually work for the team. But that's just a testament to the work you do. So, I bet you were happy to see Cooper take his opportunity so well last night, but you're happy to hear the praise that Tata gave him, and happy to hear just how highly Miguel Almiron regarded him, because I feel like this was a player that you've been kind of talking up for a while, right? He's certainly been, very highly thought of in the organization, but again, 4 starts in a row to start the season, only one of 16 players in MLS history, age 17 and younger, to start 4 straight matches to start a season. He's taken his opportunities so well, and great to see.
Absolutely. Tommy and I talked about this on Spaces last night, and it's really exciting to see him make the most of this opportunity, because I don't think anyone could have guessed that he would have gotten that first start. And I think if he had a fully healthy midfield depth chart ahead of him, I'm not sure if that opportunity would have come so early. But I'm very, very proud of him for showing up and keeping it simple in the first one, and just not letting the moment get too big for him, because that's one thing about a lot of these academy kids is they're fearless. They're fearless. They have this belief in themselves that they don't feel like, when they step out onto the big stage at the Benz, that it's something that is shutting them down or making them afraid. And I think the game plans have done a really good job of gradually allowing Cooper to grow into the moment as well. So keeping that opportunity for him to go out one match after the next, and then to be able to find that joy, that freedom, that creativity that's at the heart of his game, and really start, showing off in this last game why he deserves to be there, playing those beautiful balls on the goal scoring chances. And, I think it's going to be a really, really fun competition throughout the rest of this year, seeing how the midfield shakes out, how some of these other positions like the goalkeeping position shakes out, seeing Luke Brennan. I think he was very active and was trying to show that he belonged in more minutes over Pico and Saba as well in the twos match today. And I think a lot of these young guys have something to say, and I'm glad that Tata is recognizing the real talent that he has on the roster now.
With Cooper specifically, I remember asking him his first media availability with the team this season after the Cincinnati game, just kind of what Tata told him after the game, like kind of what feedback he got. And we heard something similar to something that a lot of players have said, which is Tata's asking him to be more of a protagonist. And I think it's interesting kind of his explanation for it. It's just, trusting a little bit more in his abilities, and knowing that he doesn't have to immediately give the ball away. Like, it doesn't have to be basically a passing post. He can take the ball, take players on, move around a little bit, show some of his individual skill. And I think that's going to develop as he gets more reps and he continues to kind of show that part of him. But so far, I've been very impressed with him. I think he presses with intensity. He moves a lot. He's helping the team move forward quickly. He's been involved in goals already. He's had goal involvement with the first team. That is huge for a kid of his age. So no, man, I'm very happy with what I've seen from him, and there's a reason that Tata is picking him.
Well, and we talked about it last week a little bit about, players getting an opportunity, young players getting opportunities. And maybe, I think we were specifically talking about Jaden, who we thought earned the job last year and he gained back. But like, when you see these, when you look at certain organizations, and like, I think you would look at it and say, well, I know that if I go through the academy, I've got a very good chance of playing for the big team. Same like as in college football. Like, if I'm going to Alabama, there's a good chance I'm going to get drafted in the NFL. Well, here in Atlanta United, it's like, if you really look at it in a little bit with sarcasm here, it's like, well, I know if I come up here, I'll probably end up getting traded for some fake money at some point. So to be able to see, some of these players, being able to get some consistent playing time, and Jay's going to be on his way up here too. I mean, I think that's just a good thing for all the younger kids that are growing up here and going, okay, well, it looks like, Cooper is getting his chances now. This is good for all of us.
Yeah, and to that point, when you've got a development pipeline that's really churning, that's one of the opportunities there. It's you're able to work your way up through the system. You know that the guys ahead of you aren't going to be, anchored there forever if they're going through the system, because the goal is to be able to have them either go abroad or continue elevating their career. And so I know y'all have mentioned how a good academy is a cheat code in this league, and that's the case in most leagues, really. And when you're not dealing with a salary cap league, that might be how a lot of teams actually build out their payroll or meet their budget, is being able to sell on one of their young talents. And so we're lucky to have guys who are consistently showing up. And for a little while it was center backs and left backs. Now we're moving up to the midfield and to the goalkeeping position. And next year we could potentially have a draft pick and 2 homegrowns as our full goalkeeping depth chart if we wanted to. And so it just shows how we're creating a lot of room in a cap league to be able to invest that money in specific positions where we don't necessarily need to spread it as thinly across the entire roster, because we're getting either free roster spots or we're getting really, really low cost roster spots with really high value play coming out of these young guys.
You mentioned something, and you can kind of talk about this roundtable style. So competition, you talked about that a few minutes ago, and Tata's going to have a decision to make, guys, when Jay Fortune comes back, which could be as soon as against DC. Of course, he started for the 2s against Huntsville and a 4-1 win. How long did he go? I didn't see how long he went, guys. Greg, you may know, but how long did Jay go in that one?
He played the first half. Yeah, Aiden Torres came in the half.
Okay, so I would expect Jay to be with the first team against DC, possibly as a substitute, I would think. But he's coming back. Will Riley will be back soon. You have Galata in the mix. You have Adrian Gill, who I think might be primarily with the 2s, and I don't know what you feel about that, Gray. You have him. You have, of course, Muyumba. You have Alzate. It could be an odd man out, guys. And the thing with Alzate is he wasn't Tata's. He was a Dyla signing. We talked about an incredibly long contract, incredibly costly investment that you made in Alzate, where he hasn't delivered in the way that you had hoped. So this is more rhetorical than anything. I feel like I mentioned this before. Is there a world where they may try to get something for Steven Alzate? That's a big contract. I don't know if they'll trade him within the league, because that's an enormous contract, 4 more years and 1.4 million or something like that. But it makes me wonder, Tommy.
Well, it goes back to the conversation up in the comment section they were talking about. Is I think Bruno asked, is like, okay, well, after 4 weeks now, do you look at a DP or using your buyouts here? And he's one of the players that have been on my list here, because we've talked about the midfield. There's a bunch of dudes there. There's a lot of dudes, and you eventually need to be able to get depth in other places like center back, and you're definitely going to need to upgrade in the summer with that, especially when you're going to get some breaks coming up. Players leaving, you're going to need to get some depth.
Open Cup coming up too.
Open Cup, baby, yeah. got my Brandon Vasquez Open Cup MVP ready.
There you go.
Yep. Luke Brennan's going to win that this year, I'm sure. But I mean, we said it when Gray and I were talking on Spaces, like this roster is nowhere close to complete at all. No. And it's not just this window or next window, the window after that, but if I would be very disappointed if by the end of the summer they do not use a buyout on at least one of the players here. And Alzate, exactly what you talked about, the contract, and you've got all these other midfielders here. What makes him stand out to everyone else? Is he above and beyond anyone else? If not, got to move on. I think you need to move on, and you still need some depth on wing. I mean, Saba hasn't really been able to do too much. He had an opportunity. just score one. I said 7-7, and I messaged like soon as he came on late. I'm like, with the lead, this is a perfect time for a Saba counter, and he had an opportunity, didn't go in. But anyways, like I do think that a buyout has to be used at some point in time, because if we still don't, and Gray, I know the GAM counter came out last week or this week. We're kind of in the middle of the pack. Am I right about that? With what we have available?
Yeah, and I think that's a lot of it's going to shake out when we see the MLS Players Association salary report. We'll be able to actually see what kind of cap space we have in addition to that GAM that's still there, because when they list the GAM that we have, that's not total cap space. That's just the available allocation money from that pool. But yeah, I'd say we're pretty close up against the cap, and we don't really have a lot of room on the roster as well to work with. I think we might have one open senior roster spot as well, and we've got two guys who are on loans through June. One of them is Galarza, who I think we're probably going to want to keep him, and I think the only way we're able to keep him is to be able to clear out the long-term contract at the max TAM level that Alzate is on. And I think Alzate is probably going to want to find a good landing spot ahead of the summer window. So that's a scenario where I wonder if there's an opportunity for a mutual termination instead of a straight buyout there.
Yeah.
Which I think is possible, because that might look a little bit better as well, for the agents there. But I'm not sure what that is. But I think we're going to need probably two center backs this summer to really feel comfortable, and I'd like to see us add another attacker in there, but that means we're going to need to open up some roster spots in addition to the one senior spot that we have. And not really worried about Open Cup. I think we've got enough to make a good run there if we take it seriously. But yeah, center back scares me. I think we need to do a lot there. And I like Toto Majoub. I think as a short-term call-up, Toto could fill in and do a good job for us. But we can't just rely on short-term call-ups, or as much as we love Ronald Hernandez. I don't know if any of us really want that break glass and happening here. So yeah, we'll let him continue working his magic behind the scenes as much as possible.
And at center back, you need even more help, considering Juan Berrocal's loan also ends in June.
Yep.
And he's on a big contract. I don't expect him to remain past that date, especially now, given stuff that Tommy is shaking his head.
Efficiencies.
He's slow. He's inconsistent. Stian Gregerson stepped in for him, and Atlanta had its best defensive performance of the season. Coincidence? I think not.
Correlation or causation?
I mean,
causation, to be honest with you.
Yeah. And the attitude of the back line with Stian in there is so much better too. I mean, you just like Stian, and he and Jakob add so much of an asshole factor, which I absolutely love to see. Like they just were like this. It's the kind of spunk that we've been looking for these guys, just wanting them to just go and take someone out. Like seeing Jakob go in there and just lay that guy out after he knocked Cooper out of bounds. That made me so happy, because I've been waiting for somebody on this team to show up for their teammates for years, and just seeing these guys get fired up and fight for each other and get pissed off in a way that actually is building, and is like adding to the fire of the team instead of just having them, get angry and shut down, which is what they did in the past. Such a difference. And I think Stian is able to add that because he's this LGP enforcer kind of figure in that back line. And so, if we've got our LGP, we've got our Franco Escobar back there now, we're starting to build out these role players that are feeling a little bit like what used to work under Tata. And I think that's a little bit of what, Henry, you were talking about that proactive player, that guy who's going to be the protagonist in there. And I think that's such a key part. And I think that's what Gallarza is so good at, is you see him just wanting to go forward and be part of this very creative and dynamic dance with the attacking trio. And I don't think that fluidity and that comfort had really existed despite the familiarity of the guys who were there before. So it's wild to me that he's only been here for a couple of weeks because he fits so well.
And let's talk a little bit more about that attitude aspect, that mentality, because it's not just Jakob. Jakob is a great example. And this is why I think a lot of fans are starting to really warm up to him as a player on this team. And I mean, Tomas the Tank Engine, baby. Don't mess with him or he's gonna run you over. But also, I go back to the PK call against Atlanta in this game. And Miggy, as the captain, is the only one allowed to talk to the referee. That's in the rules. He was livid, dude. He went up to the ref, and I had never seen Miggy that way, but he was telling him, we have a phrase in Spanish. It's like, le dice hasta lo que se va a morir. He tells him even what he's going to die of. Like, he was telling him
I've only seen Miggy that angry once.
Exactly. It's like, I'm used to seeing like the happy, like the smile, like no, dude, he brought out bad Miggy. And I love it, dude. I love to see the passion. I love to see him fighting for his guys and stepping up as the leader that he's supposed to be. I love the attitude that Alexi showed when he celebrated his goal and all the other goals, and Manu also. I love to see that. You see that the vibes are high. You see that there's buy-in from these players. Like, they believe that this is something that they really want to be a part of. It's completely like turning the page from what we saw last season.
Well, and one of the things you were talking about, like sticking up for other players. I mean, last couple of years, it's been bad. Besides Brad Guzan, nobody really would really come and help anyone out. And I just watched like a 20-minute video the other day, switching sports for a second. But one of the best hockey players in the NHL got knocked out for the season by a Ducks player. Yeah, sorry about that. But literally not one player went to help him out.
Yeah.
And, because it's Canada and he plays for, and for Toronto, they overreacted like the Dallas Cowboys, but they talked about it for an extended period of time. And it was a good listen because it reminded me exactly of Atlanta United, where it's like all these guys, like, they don't even care for each other enough to go and even if you don't see the play, you take that guy out that took your guy out here. You make sure that he's uncomfortable after that. And for so many times over the last couple seasons, you haven't seen that at all. So to see these plays happening here, I think that is what is going to help down the line, because when you're winning, things are great. But when you're not winning and you go through, a 2-3 game skid, these types of attitudes in playing for each other can help you get through that.
Yeah, I bring up, and Tommy, I was thinking about the same exact analogy before you brought it up, but I think about my conversation a few weeks ago with, I think it was one of the players, but talking about adversity, and Atlanta has to learn how to win. That's something they haven't been able to do over these past few matches, and maybe this is the one that pushes them over the line. And again, means absolutely nothing if you don't go out and beat DC, who is not a terrible team, not a great team, but not a terrible team by any stretch of the imagination. But if you beat them, then you have a winning streak. Granted, you have the international break after that, but yeah, at least go into that, guys, with one of your sales saying, "Hey, season started like crap, but here we are. We've kind of bounced back from that, and we're now 2 wins to the good, back to back." So that's what I'm looking for, a response. Can this stack up? Can this carry over to DC? Because if they lose, it's sort of back to square one, I feel like, right?
Well, I think it,
I don't know about
What?
back to
Well, no,
what it
you.
was before.
Yeah, but I mean, my point is like you're kind of like in scramble mode again because
You lose your
You're-
momentum.
yeah, because of your momentum. Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
so
Not-
We're used to that.
here's why
Right.
I'm not as worried about that, because we can see what they're working on in practice showing up on the field. They talked about that back post goal being something that they had worked on, and
Training, yep.
you could see that. You could see that with the twos tonight as well. Some of the same ideas that they've been working on with the first team are also appearing in how the second team is playing. And it seems like the more these guys get to practice together, the more they get to spend time together and build that camaraderie, the better they get. And so, unlike previous years where we had the break and everyone just kind of went their separate ways and we lost all the momentum and people would just kind of show up like it was the first day when they got back. I'm not as worried about that now because it seems like them being able to have that time together, at the training ground, just being able to build this true team is going to only make them better. And so I'm hoping they'll come out on the front foot against DC, and we'll keep things going as we're heading into the break.
Only negative thing, Hoyos again. I'm sorry, I can't with him. I know we're trying to be positive, but like what makes it
Positive
even
vibes
worse
only.
sometimes. Like he's in the wrong places at the wrong times. But man, like even when he has time to think about making a pass, like it goes to the other team.
Yeah.
And there were a couple good passes in this game though. He did have a few nice ones, and one of the ones I think that actually got turned over, Atlanta United got it like back immediately. That led to I think the third goal, maybe I don't remember which one it was, but like it led up to it there. But like that wasn't by plan there. That absolutely wasn't by plan. But we won. That's great. But
Mhm.
man, I every time. I don't feel confident with him in there. Maybe he will continue to improve throughout the season, but right now he is he's something. Just put it that. Just trying to be positive at 9:53 on a Sunday. He's something.
So I'm going to give Hoyos one compliment here. He's so chaotic at the back that he invites the other team forward,
Yeah.
which is creating more space for our guys in the midfield and down the pitch. Because if they felt like he wasn't going to fumble the ball, if they felt like he wasn't going to do something crazy, they would sit back and would let the ball come to them. But you have no idea what he's going to do, and so they're trying to press, and that's I think that might actually be creating some space.
I wouldn't be as scared if he wasn't literally the last line of defense between like them and the goal.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it
Put
feels
him
like
in at striker.
No, shut up. It feels like he thinks he has more time than he actually does.
Mhm.
Because like he's had some very close calls. I respect holding on to the ball and inviting the pressure and then playing it out. But sometimes I feel like he's like, oh, we're chilling, and then oh my god, he's on top of me. and then that part specifically is what sometimes goes very, very wrong, because that's where you have your turnovers, that's where you have the blunders, like you had in I think it was San Jose game, where he literally just gives the ball away and it leads to a goal. And you have those nervy moments, and these are the things that you got to work out. So he's got to remember he's in MLS now. He's gonna have guys that are fast charging at him. You got to get rid of the ball a little bit quicker. I get invite the pressure, but not too much.
Yeah.
You tease them. You don't take them out for the full date. Just a little tease, and then go.
Will we see Oyos on the when playing it out of the bag goes wrong X account
Oh god.
at some
probably.
point? Hopefully not.
Is he not already there?
It probably could have been after that goal in San Jose that he helped give up, to be honest.
The worst goal he gives up this season?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Well, and Omar says, I think the Hoyos hate is over the top because Guzan played on this team for way too long. I mean, he definitely had some good times before. I mean, he was taken off last year. So, I mean,
Have we forgotten 2024 playoff Brad Guzan, who literally kept Atlanta alive on
Yeah.
his own? Until
I
Hoyos
mean-
does that, no, I think the Hoyos criticism is perfectly merited.
We're also
Yeah,
forgetting Brad's phenomenal red cards that he would get once or twice a year as well. And he would just go running out there into the middle of
Yeah.
the air and just blow somebody up. Yeah, that was always fun.
That,
speaking of red cards, though,
yeah.
I mean, Tata was getting close.
I know.
He was getting close.
So it was him that got a yellow, and then Jorge Taylor who got a yellow. So we were kind of wondering in the press box, right? We saw Marcos de Oliveira, the center referee, show a yellow first to Tata, and then afterwards he shows it ultimately to the Atlanta bench. So we're like wondering, oh my gosh, is that for Tata? Is he off and out for next week? But it was for Jorge Taylor, as we found out. So
And I love how they caught him on camera yelling at the Philly bench. I'm not talking to you. I'm not.
mind your own business.
I was listening to Mike and Jason on Apple TV, and it was funny because, like, I think they thought that, like, Tata was going to go over there and, like, fight everybody. It was the commentary during that entire section was like, oh no, well, it looks like they're about to hug it out here. They're going to hug it out. It's okay. It's okay here. Like, he's-
Tata brawling with Bradley Carnell would be elite.
Ah.
Who was it he told FU during his first tenure with Atlanta?
What?
Really? Yeah. I forget who it was.
Tata?
Yeah, Tata is like
Is that
FU.
Jim Curtin?
He
think it was
the
Jim
F-word?
Curtin.
I think it was Curtin. I think it was Curtin, to be honest.
You're right.
It's just something about the Philadelphia Union that just pisses Tata off.
They're the Broad Street
What is it?
Bullies.
Does he hate
What do you
Philly for
expect?
some reason?
I didn't even know that story. Hold on, that's amazing.
There's a I don't know where to find it right now, but there's a clip of him saying "F you."
I need to
think,
find
yeah,
it.
I think it was Curtin. But
Mhm.
probably just something about the city of Philadelphia that rubs Tata the wrong way, I guess. Any final thoughts? I mean, I feel like the theme was enjoy the win, enjoy something that hasn't happened in Atlanta United since August 30th, 2025. Something that hasn't happened to Atlanta United since at home against an MLS opponent, I should say, since May 28th of last year. They beat Atlas and Leagues Cup, but that didn't matter because it didn't count, and it was a dead rubber. But you get a win. I mean, to break a 3-game losing streak to start the year. All is not right with the world, but at least, guys, he has some momentum going to DC.
Mhm.
What now? I guess. How do you build on it?
Win again.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then guess what? The
Do it
game
again.
after that, win again. And then that's a streak.
Mhm.
We like win
Yeah.
streaks.
Better than losing.
That's
Let's keep building
that's a
on.
quote from Major League, the original Major League.
Is it
movie.
really?
Uh huh.
When
Win
did that come out
tomorrow,
again?
Nets 2. Win 3. That is called a winning streak. Those happen.
Hasn't happened to Atlanta United a whole lot.
It's
over the past
been-
couple of years.
It's been a long time. Actually, we didn't give a shout out to our newest employee. We can't technically call her an employee because she's too young to work. But Stella
So,
has been
the
killing it with these weekly videos. I've had people reach out to me, my friends, because I get tagged in it, and they're like, "That's the cutest kid that I've ever seen."
Mhm.
But like, there's just I maybe it's the Orlando game. Like, I just want her to go like evil Stella. Like, lights go out, candles around her, and go, "You're done." Like almost like an Undertaker type
An
thing.
Undertaker.
Yeah, like an Undertaker type thing. Like have her eyes roll up back at "Rest in peace, Orlando." Oh, I mean that would be fantastic. I got to reach out to Tyler Maria and give him an idea for that if they're not listening.
I'm sure
Dark
it'll
Stella
get
is gonna
to
go
I know.
hard on this. Like it's gonna go. Oh man, like. And they'll show it like before the game, and the Orlando's
Right.
going to show in the locker room before. You can't lose. You can't lose to her. Absolutely not. But right now, positive Stella has been doing a hell of a job.
Yeah. Good to see. Good to see. Gray, who is next at Atlanta United? Just quickly, who is next at Atlanta United should be looking at for the twos? I mean, you mentioned Dofley, you mentioned Liam Butts, John O'Ransom. Who do you think is next to make that first Atlanta United appearance before too long?
I was really impressed by one of our off-season signings, the right back Daniel Chica. I think he's had a really great couple of matches now, and I know we've got a ton of guys at right back right now, but he feels like a guy who's going to get an opportunity if there's a window for him. He is very impressive. Sinanu, one of the center backs, he also has been a lot of fun. He came over from Colorado in the off season and has just been flying all over the field. I think those are the two guys who I think could be really interesting. Didi Cibrian, who's one of our new academy signings, he's a little bit further away, but he's part of that central midfield pipeline that we should all be excited about.
So, Gray, before we wrap up and before we let you go, there is a question in our Discord in the questions channel that is specifically directed to you.
Okay.
It is from Homer for Gray Gowder. Should we take anything from the fact that the twos are playing a 4-2-3-1, which is different from last year's twos under Silva, but also kind of what the first team is playing?
Yeah, no, I think that's a good question. I think Silva is trying to play the twos in a way that rhymes with the first team, or at least has the players who will be moving up to the first team being able to experience roles that will feel very familiar at that next level and be compatible there. I think it's unlikely they will go back to the 3 or 5 man back line that they were playing a lot last year, just because they don't really have that group of defenders that they did before, and it makes a lot more sense to play in this form. I think any opportunity we have to really build out the experience and compatibility of that double pivot or that midfield pair is going to be good, and building up the experience of our attacking trio behind that center forward and being able to interchange there is also really good. So it may not be directly the same tactical alignment because we're playing with 2 8s with the first team instead of in that more linear form. But there are a lot of similar roles. And so I think that's probably what they're doing here.
Just real quick before we go, when's the last time ATL ETD 2 has been 2-0 to start a season?
I'm not sure if we ever have. I can't remember the last time the twos and the first team won in the same weekend.
I know.
It's
It's
been a while.
forever.
So I'm enjoying it while we have it.
You're going to come in for a playoff. You have to come in for a playoff. Atlanta United needs to get you to a playoff game if that happens.
Oh yeah. No, if the twos go to the playoffs, I will be in Atlanta for that.
Nice.
You can stay at Tyler's house. That's fine.
Does Tyler know that?
We're volunteering
whatever.
Tyler's house.
My cousins in Alpharetta will be getting a call.
Okay. That's probably better.
Yeah.
Off.
But you're sleeping on the couch. The lights are off, and then the fire, like Kane's fire, comes out, like we talked about, and then there's Stella going, We better win tomorrow.
Yeah. No, I'm hoping they'll be back in Charleston for the Open Cup this year. That was fun last time they were here, and yeah, hopefully we'll be able to welcome all of y'all to town.
Was that the bug game?
It may have been the bug. Yeah, it went to penalties in the end.
Well, I feel like all those games went to all those games were terrible. All the Open Cup games last year were terrible. But I can remember I think that was the game Tyler was at where the bugs were everywhere.
Yep. That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Like something weird happens every time Atlanta United and the Charleston Battery play.
Pretty
Just
much.
about every time. Gray, thanks for your help as always. Thanks for your coverage of Atlanta United 2, the Academy. We got to get you on for a solo episode on the Discord sometime, but we'll hopefully get that together hopefully soon, guys, right? At some point.
Absolutely. We'll make it happen.
Eventually. Cool. That's all I got. You guys got anything else?
Yeah, Gray, where are you on social media?
Oh, you'll probably.
I stole his thing. I stole his thing.
I'll allow it.
You'll probably find me either talking about urban planning or why deep sea mining is a really bad idea. If you just search my name, Gray Gowder, out there. Not a lot of soccer on social media, but a whole lot of other stuff.
It's cool. Tommy, where are you in social media?
Call up the butts at x.com. Oh,
Would you call that
better.
a butt dial?
Sydney is begging
there.
begging Atlanta United to not call him up because I am going to be so much
You're
trouble.
going to have so much
trouble. The shirt designs are going to be out of control. Just get the peach emoji ready.
Yeah. Sorry, that Tommy ATL 96, by the way. Henry, where are you on social media?
At HA Higita on Twitter and Blue Sky, at HA_Higita on Instagram.
Tyler is at ATL Pilgrim everywhere. I'm at SH Wright on SH Wrights on X and Blue Sky Soccer, Instagram, and Threads. Scarves Andy Spikes on X. I'm sorry, Scarves, the letter N Spikes on X. ScarvesAndySpikes.com of Blue Sky. Scarves Andy Spikes on Instagram and Threads. Facebook.com/ScarvesAndySpikes is for the latest Atlanta United news, analysis, and opinion. Go to ScarvesAndSpikes.com. And please support Scarves and Spikes and the work that we do at patreon.com/ScarvesAndSpikes. That's it. I will be back along with Tyler and Henry for MLS Monday on YouTube. Until then, we will catch you later. So long.
Ounce.
Nah, you got silenced again, dude.
Oh, I waited too.
Mm-hmm.
We got to create like 2 accounts for Stella. Like they'll be happy Stella just talks about wins, but then we just get like a trash talking one for her and just send it to like all the teams. Cause like, you know how like your meme, Henry, that you had that you made there, but it's just videos of Stella going, you lost, loser. Oh, I've created
Love
Stella
it.
like a whole new
persona.
alternate
Giving her an
personality,
alter ego.
alter ego. Oh, I am.
You made her a heel.
I've got
Stay
to
with
have
her parents first, though.
I got to have a family talk. We'll have a family talk after we get off here. I'll talk about it.
Family meeting.
So, guys, Tata Martino and I were matching at the last the pregame press conference, and we might have to do that again this week if we want to win again. So this is messages for anyone that works at Atlanta United and happens to be watching the show. You can send me Tata's number and we'll coordinate for this Thursday. Yeah, just letting you know I'm here to help y'all out.
Was that you with the sweater around your neck like that at the training ground?
I don't think so. I didn't have it like the superhero cape style, but
Ah.
the blue sweater that he was wearing, like mine was almost exactly the same. Our
For
fit
the rest
was like
of the season, you need to try that. Eventually, once he's going to wear that at the training ground. You hope. So if you just do it every single time, you got 1% chance of at least hitting it once.
There you go.
I didn't do the math there, but
Great
in
math,
my
dude.
mind it worked right. Yeah.
Sure, it works.
See ya.
Take care.
Peace.